My name's Mac Holyoke. I'm president and producer of Pipeline Studios. We've been around for 3 years, but previous to that I worked at Nelvana for 25 years. We do both 3D animation, which should be called CG animation because there is actual 3D coming out now, like Avatar and some of those things. We also do 2D digital, which is more like the classical animation style. I do a little of everything now. I started off as an animator and a sound editor, and did pretty much every job in animation throughout the 25 years. I got changed around a lot. It was pretty exciting. 3 years ago we decided to start this company, and now I do schedules. My first job was Inspector Gadget. I worked then on Care Bears, Ewoks, Beetlejuice, Eek the Cat, Rupert, Babar. I could sort of go on for a long time. Roly Poly Oly and the Backyardigans are more recent ones. They're 3D, and that's been over the last 10 years or so. But yeah, a lot of the cartoons that you see on television today were made in Canada. A lot of people don't realize that, but it's a major industry in Canada. When you start a series, a series can take anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half to complete from start to finish. So, working long hours, 18 hours a day, you would tend to burn out very quickly. So we try to work our 40 to 50 hours, something reasonable, and go home and have a life. Well, I went to Sheridan College and took a 3-year animation course, classical animation. Now they've got a Bachelor of Arts program that takes 4 years. So the students now go through 4 years of intense animation training here at Sheridan. There's a number of other colleges in Ontario and the rest of the world. Sheridan is still has the best reputation amongst all of the colleges that train for animation, and their students are usually grabbed up by studios fairly quickly. When I started, animation had been done the same way for 60 years. Hand drawing, transferring it onto clear cells, painting the back, shooting it under a camera, onto film, processing the film, adding the audio and with film magnetic track and all that stuff. Just like you see in the old making of Disney, if you watch an old Disney Steamboat Willie documentary or something, you'd see them doing the same things we did probably 20 years ago. Now with computers, everything's changed. Basically, you can have the same package that we use here and make a cartoon in your basement. I mean, they're not horribly expensive. Everything changed when the computer came in. Most things changed for the better. Things are faster. You get immediate feedback. You don't have to sort of wait 3 days for the film to be developed to see how your animation worked. But the demands change too. So, we're doing them quicker. We're doing them with higher quality. So, it's not like hit the button and cartoon comes out. I think the main thing, the 25 years I worked at Nelvana, I spent commuting to Toronto. And, I figured I spent 4 years in my car. So now that we have Pipeline Studios here in Oakville, I live probably 3 minutes away, and I think that's been the biggest impact. I can spend more time at work and more time at home and less time in my car, and that's been a real pleasure. You have to love, well, first of all, in animation, you have to like cartoons. We do TV series work, and everybody that's on our crew just loves cartoons in any way. They have to be, yeah, again, industrious. They have to be hardworking. They have to be technically skilled and artistic. It's sort of everything. It's an all-around person that survives in this business. They can't just be you know, a painter with a beret and they only do one painting a week. Our background painters who are more traditional artists, they have to do a number of paintings a day because there's so many backgrounds in an animated show. So they have to be very industrious, and because they love the work, they can be industrious. Drawing. They have to love to draw. They have to have a sketchbook next to them and be doodling all the time. If the teacher gets mad at them for drawing in their notebook instead of doing math, they're probably good for animation. But yeah, the love of drawing is the very fundamental aspect of becoming someone in this business. You may not even end up drawing. You might be one of the technical people that does the visual effects or some of the other parts of animation. But I think pretty much everybody that goes to like Sheridan Animation or any of the other courses loves to draw, and that's a start. Well, you have to realize that you're going to fit into a group of people that all have their specialties. At first you want to experience a little of everything. You've drawn the character, you've invented it, you've moved it, you've done little of everything, you've been the director of that little film. You have to experience that at first, but when you become professional, someone's going to look at your work and say, that person's a good animator, or that person will be a really good technical person, or they're really good at sculpting, they might be a modeler, and someone's going to put you in a position that they need to fill. And I think you have to be ready for that. It's rare to have a job where you do a little of everything, but you need to expose yourself to that early on when you're in high school and in your early days of college. Then over time, you might be pigeonholed into one job in the profession, but there's going to be opportunity to move from that job to a different one and keep yourself interested. But it's going to take a number of years to sort of see that. So if you're impatient and you want to be a director your first year out of high school, you're probably not going to be fortunate enough. If you don't like to work, don't go into animation. It is a lot of work. Like I tried to make it sound quite reasonable earlier, but it's not a matter of reading comics or doing a couple drawings a day and having fun with that. There's a lot of work to do, but if you love it, you can handle that amount of work, and you'll survive.